Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking at you, give me funny, lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, the boat, Brad Gilmore.
And she's joining me right now. I mean, there aren't enough hyphens that we can put. There aren't enough characters to put in as far as many things as this young lady is doing. She's a fashion designer, an author, musician, all kinds of stuff wrapped into one. And she joins me right now on ESPN 97.5. Kheris Rogers. Kheris, how we doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Wow. I mean, all the things that I just said, did you ever see that for yourself? Did you ever think, like when you were very, very young, knee high, as we say in the South, did you ever think that you'd be doing all these things?
No, but I've always had a passion for everything that I was doing. I just never actually did it because I was young. But, life, you have no limits on anything, so you can do it all.
What do you mean was young? I'm still
young, but like when I was like in elementary school, I'm in high school now. I look at myself, I was young, I've grown up a little bit.
How do you deal with it? Because you've had so much, I would say it's success at an early age, and now you're in high school. How do you kind of deal with all that? How do you manage all of your endeavors and manage your studies?
Well, I'm homeschooled, so that makes it way easier. And I feel like that's also with time management, also, and having people behind you that want you to finish school on time. That's the goal, to finish school on time. I'm supposed to be a junior. I'm a senior now, but I feel like it's about time management.
Man, when I think back, it's just kind of interesting to me because this might sound weird, but you do remind me of me in a way of I had all these interests at a very early age, and I tried to figure out how to get involved in the things that I was interested in, whether that be when I was in a local band at 18, I got on my first radio show and really started to try to make it happen for myself. When did you, though, go to your folks or the people in your life and say, hey, this isn't just a fantasy. This is something that I actually want to pursue?
So right after I started going viral on Twitter with the hashtag Flexin In Her Complexion, I feel like it was either a day or two after. And I told my sister that, I think we should start a clothing line. Like everyone loves the caption. They love what we just came up with. Let's make it into something, And then it sold out in 10 minutes. It just happened. Literally everything for me happened overnight. Everything happened so fast. It was a crazy experience.
To go to Flexin In Her Complexion and what that is, and tell me if I got the story right, you were kind of being bullied, if for lack of a better term, or made fun of online and at school for your complexion, the color of your complexion. And then you decided to take ownership of that and fight against bullying of all kinds with that hashtag. Do I have that right?
Yes, you do.
So,
kind of.
Okay, tell me where I got it wrong.
So when it went viral, I was in the 5th grade and I was experiencing bullying since like the 1st grade. I experienced racism and I also did experience colorism. And it just all came together when I was in the 5th grade and I was doing a fashion show and my sister posted a picture of me on Twitter with the hashtag Flexin In Her Complexion. Everyone just loved my skin, loved my hair. And I was just like, let's make a clothing line called Flexin In My Complexion just to empower everyone to love themselves and to be who they are because no one can judge you but you.
Oh, I love it. Now, you hit on something there, and I think the people listening would like for you to expound upon it, because we know what bullying is. We have an idea of what racism is, obviously. Colorism is something that I don't think gets talked about enough on a national level. Talk to the people about what colorism is if they don't know.
Colorism is where you're getting teased by someone in your own race, and that's where you're teasing a darker skinned girl or boy or anyone. And sometimes people think colorism can happen to someone lighter skin tone, but there's a difference between bullying and colorism, and people get them confused a lot. There's a difference between you talking about me because I'm darker than you, People don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference. But you're putting them on game. You're letting them know. You're letting them know what time it is.
No, it's a difference between bullying and colorism. Don't talk about me because I'm darker than you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference between me talking about you about your clothes, that's bullying.
Right. Yeah, they're not the exact same thing. I think you're 100% right. And it's something that I don't think gets talked about enough, like on a national level, like I said before. But when you go into the Flexin In Her Complexion, where we've got viral, we sold out in 10 minutes, we have this clothing line, but now we've added a couple more slashes. And this is really what I want to get into. Of course, you have the book Shine Bright, which I want to talk about. But I was just jamming here a second ago. I'm not going to lie to you. I was listening to Drop Top Thing. I was. And by the way, the lyrics of this song, I absolutely love. I mean, it's all the name drops, the Naomi Campbell model features, the Anita Baker reference that you have in
that
there.
went over their head.
Oh, that went over their head.
Anita Baker couldn't find a sweeter love.
Talk it. I loved it. And you know what? The concept of the record is great, because it's a drop top thing. That's a coupe made for two, I believe is what you say, or something to that effect. Where did the music bug come from? Is this something that, again, growing up, you're like, man, eventually I'm going to get my Beyonce on?
So during COVID, I had signed to Columbia Records to be in a girl group, and it was called Run the World. And being in a girl group, you're not really yourself, or the other girl groups, everyone has their own different character. I feel like everyone was kind of put into one character. Everyone had to be one character. And me, I was always the one that was like the sassy one. I bring the energy on that girl type. I always want to stand out to everyone. And I feel like it was good for me to do music on my own as well, even plus being in a girl group. And I actually just started back on writing music recently, and I can't wait for everyone to hear what I've come up with, because I'm grown up a little bit. I have more stories to tell.
Oh, you got more stories to tell, of course. I mean, relationship drama. I was in high school once upon a time. Trust me, I remember. But see, y'all have it where people are sliding in DMs and stuff like that. I don't even know anything about that. I'm a married man. I don't know nothing about that anymore. I'm out the game. They put my jersey in the rafters.
Period.
But where did the idea for that record come about, the Drop Top Thing? I really, really enjoy the concept of it, and the video is great too. Over 1 million hits, by the way, for everybody listening.
No, that's right.
I gotta let them know your stats. You're not just coming in as a newbie. You got stats. You got things that people need to know about. You have achievements.
I know that's right. I feel like the concept for the video, for the song, for one, it was showing people that I was growing up, that I wasn't just little girl everyone sees anymore. It's like wearing pigtails, the big hair. It was just for me to show, I am growing up, and these are things that I'm experiencing. I am experiencing friendships, relationships, bad friendships. This is me showing other young girls and boys that, I go through the same thing you go through too. And, I had this love interest, and, it just, yeah.
Stuff happen, I have a love interest, and I want to write about it. I think that's awesome. Period. That's it. That's the song. That's the record. You're going through your story. And the thing is too, let me ask you, because this is an interesting angle, I guess, to ask you about, because you're well known, especially within your own social media following. I mean, how many social media followers you have?
300 and something thousand.
Man,
that's just on Instagram.
Man, that's just so many. There's just so many people who are following what you do. How do you discern the real from the fake? Because I'm sure people just want to be, just be around to feel important, or just try to get in your atmosphere. How do you know the real from the fake?
It's very hard to tell. And keeping your circle very small is very important because I'm the type, I get along with everyone. I meet friends everywhere I go, and I have to tell myself everyone I'm surrounding myself with is not my friends. You know, I have 3 good real friends that I know they wouldn't switch up me through anything. I don't care what I'm going through. They're going to be right there. If I'm not mad, oh, trust me, they're going to be mad. Like, you know, and I feel like I just had to learn that everyone isn't my friend. Everyone doesn't deserve that friend title, especially in the generation that we're in. Like, people don't know what loyalty is. Loyalty is thicker than love.
Oh, that's right. And people will switch up on you in a second. You know what I mean? And in this entertainment game in general, a lot of times people just want something from you. And so it's nice to have those day ones, those people that you know are always going to be a part of your life through the thick and the thin, through the fame and the not, through the peak times and the low times. Yeah.
Right. They've been there before then. They know the real me. I feel like a lot of people really don't. Everyone sees me as like, I'm always energetic, loud, happy. But I feel like they see me through my worst and my best.
Yeah, and those are the ones that you're always going to hold near and dear. To go back to the music thing for a second, who are your influences? Who are the people who inspire you to write or inspire you to create on a music tip?
Ooh, let me think. Lauryn Hill. My favorite rapper is Lotto. I'm a big Lotto fan.
Lotto's dope.
But definitely Lauryn Hill and Nicki.
I don't know if you should be listening to Lotto. I don't know if you're old enough to be listening to Lotto.
I tell you, I've been a fan of Lotto before she was even Lotto. Like when she was Miss Mulatto, like I was listening to her since she was like 15.
Oh,
like
wow.
I was that type of fan, yeah.
Ride or die. So you like Lotto, you like Lauryn Hill. Who else?
Let me think. This is such a hard question. I listen to so many different genres of music. Like if you look at my playlist, you're probably like, girl, are you okay? But music is like therapy to me, you know, because it keeps me calm. It keeps me sane.
Yeah, I hear you. Lauryn Hill's a great one. That Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of the greatest albums ever recorded in the history of music. That's how I feel. That's one of the things that I revisit, you know, and I just feel what she was going through at that time, man. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill's a great one. You have your head on right, Kheris. You know you're good. You know the good from the bad. You know what I mean? You know the good from the bad. That was a real answer for you to drop Lauryn Hill. That like made me go, you know what? This girl knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's doing. Let's talk about Shine Bright. So a few years ago, this is a book that you published. Tell people real quick about what the book is about.
Shine Bright is about a little girl named Imani where she's going to the skate park and she's trying to find new friends. And while she's there, everyone's telling her that she looks different. You know, she's not really understanding that. Like, what do you mean I look different? Like, I got eyes, nose, mouth. Like, I got skates just like y'all. You know, what's so different about me? And she can't seem to figure it out. Her sister explains to her that people are afraid of the dark. And you have to learn to love yourself before anyone around you can love you. You know, and writing this book, I feel like it was hard for me to put my story in a kid's way. I wanted my story to be not just for adults or teenagers. I wanted a kid to understand what the real world is like. And
for you to have the foresight to do that really shows what you're really trying to do is spread this message and let people know what not only you experienced, but what so many people have experienced in their lifetimes and how we can learn from it. Because if you don't speak on it, we can't learn about it, right? And you got to speak on it, and Shine Bright does that. Did you enjoy the process of writing a book? Because I've written a couple books myself, and I will say, out of all the creative endeavors I've ever done, they're my least favorite things because it takes so much out of you. Oh, I love it when it's done, but it just takes so much out of you when you're doing it. Did you enjoy this creative process?
I really did. I feel like having everyone around me being supportive and everyone around me helping, not something that was done on my own. I'm 16. This isn't something I could do on my own, but it was such a fun process. I loved writing a book. I love seeing what happens behind the scenes. When it's something I love, I promise you, it's going to get done regardless if I hate it or not.
So tell me about what else can we expect? What are you working on right now that we can expect in the this year or the years to come?
Right now, I'm working with a doll company for a doll and jewelry, earrings, clothes, all that to be sold at Target, Walmart. Yeah, I'm super, super excited for that. That should be like September or something like that if we get everything done. So, yeah.
It's incredible. It's just incredible. What won't you do? So what is the ultimate goal? Like when you look at this interview right here, when you look at it 10 years from now, like where do you want to be in your life at that point?
In Dubai. I'm playing.
You and I both. If you got that Dubai money, you could take me with you. I mean, we can go and ball out.
So now I'm playing. I want to have my own storefront. I want to be traveling the world more than what I am. Going to more speaking engagements. I feel like I see myself. I dream so big that like I feel like I could do anything. I feel like I could be I don't even know for real. It's just I do so much. I don't know where I start. It's just like whatever happens. Trust the process. Live in the now.
I love that. And, you know, I'll be honest with you. You've done a lot. You're 16 years of age, which is insane to see all the things that you've accomplished. You've accomplished more than most people have in their entire lives. But don't let that stop you, right? Don't get complacent. Right. Keep pushing it because, I mean, the sky's the limit for you. You got such a great vibe about you. You got your head on right, and you're doing all the right things. Kheris Rogers, let the people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can get involved with everything in your orbit.
You can follow me on all my social medias at Kheris Poppin, KherisPoppin. You can shop Flexin In My Complexion at flexininmycomplexion.com.
Look at that, man. Well, you know what? Sky's the limit for you. I'm going to be rooting for you. You got a new fan in me, and I'm going to be supporting you all the way through. Kheris Rogers, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hurry up, tape running out.
Oh,